my PhD thesis, utilization of silicon dioxide nanoparticles in foam enhanced oil recovery for comprehensive review. So my supervisor is Dr. Wan Rosli from UTM, and my co-SC is Prof. Emeritus Dr. Ahmad Kamal from UTP, Perak. This is my presentation outline. So for introduction, I would like to brief about the EOR first. Okay, firstly, produce or recovery after primary and secondary, which is water flooding, is only 33% of original oil in place. Hence, the balance is 67% needs to be recovered by the secondary method, which is water flooding. Then, if water flooding is still not good, then we solve by utilization EOR, means enhanced oil recovery. So, as we know, EOR is a very expensive method. So, influenced by economic and crude oil price, the number of gas flooding increased steadily compared to other. Currently, before this, the main EOR is gas flooding, thermal flooding, and chemical flooding. Chemical means ASP, alkaline, surfactant, and polymer. And currently, gas flooding is clearly the best EOR method to be applied for marginal and brown oil field and low price regime and low oil price regime, like like situation in 2015. Okay. However, gas flooding has poor sweep efficiency, measured by mobility ratio, because as we know, gas has very low density and viscosity compared to oil, especially by heterogeneity effect. Heterogeneity effect is actually the different various type of permeability inside reservoir. As a result, around 50% of OOIP remains unrecovered. Okay, that's unrecovered after gas flooding. Here, as we know, gas density is varies by temperature and pressure inside reservoir. So it cannot be controlled inside reservoir. That's why the gas mobility can be controlled or can be lowered by using water alternating gas, which are WAG, thickener, and foam. As we know, in Malaysia now also use WAG in Dulang field, Tapis field in Terengganu, and foam. Meaning foam also can reduce the gas mobility, and conventional foam consists of surfactant, polymer, and protein. Okay. This is background of foam. Foam increases trapped gas saturation and its viscosity, hence decreases gas mobility and gas relative permeability, which indirectly decreases water relative permeability. However, conventional foam was unable to maintain the stability for a long time, especially in harsh reservoir, which is high salinity and high temperature, and in the presence of oil. High salinity is based on department in geology in USA, mean more than 10,000 ppm. Okay. Why conventional foam from surfactant, polymer, and protein is unstable? Because they are low at surface energy at foam interfaces. Hence, this paved the way of using nanoparticles as foam stabilizer. The most used nanoparticles in foam is nanosilica, which consists of silicon dioxide. Silicon dioxide is a main element in quartz, which is sandstone. So we can see, we can conclude that silicon dioxide is relatively cheaper than metal oxide nanoparticles, hence also environmental friendly. And the other benefit of silicon dioxide is its surface can be switched between hydrophilic, hydrophobic, or partially hydrophobic, which is the percentage of the OH and CH3 group on its surface. Also, silicon dioxide generated more stable foam compared to metal oxide. The dispersion is also the most stable. Dispersion can be measured by zeta potential, meaning is higher than 30 or negative or higher than 30 microvolt, meaning is stable. And also lowest interfacial tension compared to metal oxide. If the IFFT can be lower, then it will improve the formability. And also SiO2 also can alter the wettability of porous media higher than other metal oxide. Okay, this is the fundamental of, actually this is fundamental of all type of nanoparticle, not only silicon dioxide but also the metal oxide, but this is the fundamental of nanoparticles stabilized form. Firstly, the irreversible adsorption as gas-liquid interfaces, which is thousands of kilo T compared to conventional foam. Also, the foam stabilized by nanoparticles is can be increased, can be measured by maximum capillary pressure, which is related with IFT. The P is a packing parameter, and cos theta. Theta here means contact angle of the single nanoparticle, and R meaning the radius of the particle, single particle. Also, the third fundamental parameter is particle arrangement in liquid film. And as we know, from the left side is a monolayer, middle is a bilayer, and the right side is a network of particle. Meaning, if network is more stable, the lamella also getting bigger, and the last is cork formation inside lamella. At the bottom, the aggregated particles will form cork formation on the top. Meaning, aggregated here will reduce the foam decay time. Okay, for main parameters induced SiO2 stabilized foam. The first is concentration, then the size, meaning the smaller diameter generates more stable foam. Actually, for number 1 and number 2, we can relate with the fourth parameter. You can relate here. Also, the surface modification. Surface modification here can be measured by the theta, because surface modification will change the contact angle of particle and the presence of surfactant. As we know, surfactant can be categorized into 4 types: anionic, cationic, amphoteric, and non-ionic. So different type of surfactant give different mechanism with silicon dioxide, because silicon dioxide is have negative charge. For bare silicon dioxide have negative charge, but if we alter or we add the silane, it can be changed to hydrophobic or partially hydrophobic, meaning by surface modification. And the fifth is brine salinity. As we know, salinity, higher salinity will cause is easier or faster aggregation of nanoparticles. And for example, for silicon dioxide, the critical salt concentration is only 1% of NaCl. Critical salt concentration means the minimum concentration of salt that will induce the particle to become aggregate. Then if aggregate, meaning the permeability of porous media will decrease. The efficiency of nanofilm will decrease. And also the last main parameter is wettability of rock. Wettability of rock actually have this detrimental effect of foam actually by all wet state. Okay, this is the photo for more detail. On the top and left is effect of concentration. Means if you know the highest is the top level is meaning the optimum concentration. Then wettability, surface modeling, presence of substance, and effect of salinity. If the presence of divalent ion, the CAC will become getting smaller. And the most important parameter is concentration of silicon dioxide. If lower than optimum, hard to formability, reduce form stability. And also if higher than optimum, of course, as we can see here, also the decay time also will increase. So also the main point here is if the nanoparticle is dispersed in the ionized water, the optimum concentration is lower compared to in salinity brine. Okay, as a conclusion, silicon dioxide nanoparticles as foam stabilizer showed significant effect in improving the conventional surfactant foam. However, all parameters here need to specify during experimental or pilot test. And the last is what I think the cream of this presentation is synergy effect, such as wettability alteration during foam flooding requires more attention among researchers. As we know, nanoparticle is already proven very good in EOR, in drilling, in reservoir characterization, but only the problem is quite expensive. That's why I believe if we use the synergy effect such as vertical alteration during foam flooding, it's become very good. And also in current scenario, 50% of reservoir oil field reserve is categorized in oil wet, meaning oil wet detrimental effect of foam flooding. So if the nanoparticle can alter the wettability too, so it become two mechanisms in one process. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay. Any suggestion? Okay, for Nazmi. Assalamualaikum. Okay, can you show me your title?
Title.
Front page. Slide presentation. So now you are talking about the utilization of SiO2 nanoparticle in foam enhanced oil recovery.
Yeah.
Yes, you are talking about a comprehensive review, right?
Yeah.
My concern is when you prepare a review papers, how many papers that relevant to the SiO2 nanoparticle? In your paper now, how many papers, how many reference?
How many reference?
Relevant to the SiO2? You know, from your papers.
Yes.
How many papers?
Here already, all this belong to SiO2.
SiO2, how many?
Yes.
How many? 10 or 15,
Yes.
20? How
I
many
study,
papers?
I think nearly 100.
Nearly 100.
Yes.
Talking about SiO2.
Yeah, SiO2, yes. SiO2 and foam.
SiO2 and foam.
Yes.
Okay, so then fine. I thought because my concern is when we prepare review papers. So normally, if you specify a specific topic, I mean specific nanoparticle, it's very hard for you to to review a certain topic lah. So
Yes.
now we try to some sort. I mean try to make it general. Something like nanoparticle dispersion in foam, right? Like something like that. So if you say that more than 100, then it is possible to to prepare this kind of review papers.
Yes.
And then actually, the thing is my expectation when you highlight importance of SiO2, right? You need to, for example, in one statement, so you have to give the reference for the for that statement from who state that,
Yeah.
from where you take that, you quote that statement. Because if you didn't highlight from where, then is it your own statement? So I can see that a few slides. So you highlight the importance of SiO2, right?
Yes. Yes.
Which is compared to others. Who claim that?
Meaning maybe
The most used nanoparticle. Then you claim that
the most,
SiO2.
if cited here, I remember from Miranda et al. 2012.
Yeah.
So
I
the
understand.
latest paper always cited.
The way you when you highlight this one, you have to give the reference, lah.
Yes, please.
So that's how you can convince people to claim that SiO2 is the best, lah.
Yeah.
And then one more thing is, you have to be careful when you highlight a comprehensive review. In your paper, how many reference? Total reference?
Total reference in
This paper.
only 40 something.
40 something.
Yes.
Okay, but you.
Because constraint of the maximum 8 pages.
I know. But the thing is, you claim that 100,
Yes.
SiO2. Some people. For me, I can understand because for the conference paper, you can have up to 50 plus reference. There's no problems. But you have to be careful when you try to using the term for comprehensive. So maybe you can have some sort of preliminary review, which is, the level for conference. We cannot present everything. But when you talk about comprehensive, it should be comprehensive. It should be reflect to the content of your papers. So I just talk based on my experience, lah. So you have to be careful, lah. Of course, you try to give some novelty term on your titles.
Yes, of course.
Currently, I'm doing a review paper, so I tend to use the word co-critical. Then I was corrected by my supervisor, shouldn't use the term co-critical.
Yes.
And then after, unless I'm confident with my paper is really critical.
Yeah, unless your paper is critical, then you can say that.
So I have the review paper also recently accepted, about 30 pages, 100 plus. But it's more to a summary.
Yes.
So what should I include the term like preliminary?
No. If you have done a comprehensive review, critical review, then you can do that. But I'm talking about the conference review papers.
I don't think it's critical enough.
If not critical, then try to avoid it.
Just put a review, that's it.
A review.
The
Something.
summary is not possible, right?
Summary, no.
A review.
Actually, review paper is not a summary. It's not a summary about the topics. No, summary is everyone can do that. But review something that you give summary and then you conclude, which is something. What is the novel? For that particular topic. So that's you have to be careful, lah. Especially for the new postgraduate student, for the first second semester, they read the compile all the information, then they claim that just to do summary for the papers. So remember, especially that's why when you prepare your review paper, you have to refer to your supervisor, which is your supervisor will guide you on which direction that you have to go. Not only you prepare for yourself and then you conclude for yourself. So then later on your direction is not in proper ways, lah. So that's my comment. I hope later on you can improve, lah. Because I received many review papers, then they claim comprehensive. I don't think that for conference paper you cannot do comprehensive, for sure, because of the limitation of the pages.
Yeah.
For sure. Then why not you just a review? Right. So that's my, because I'm trying to make it generalized. I mean, comment for all authors lah. Because I can have seen, I am the editor for this conference lah. So I deal with many papers, and then I can see that a comprehensive review paper, comprehensive. So what is comprehensive? 30 reference. Is it comprehensive? I don't think so. So that's my response. I hope you understand my point here. Okay? It's a good topic.
Okay, thank you, Sweet Professor Dr. Wanazmi. Any question again? Suggestion? Just actually, I was about to give comment about citation. I haven't seen any citation about the topics. So Dr. Wanazmi already mentioned this one. You have to support your argument with citation. If it is your argument, okay, you can support your argument with any scientific theory or scientific results. But if it is not your argument, just taking it from other researcher works, you have to cite. You have to acknowledge their work.
Actually, all already cited inside the paper.
Inside the paper, okay.
But
Not
not written in
just
the
this is just information, no problem. If you cite, no problem.
Yeah.
Another one is make sure at least, since it is a review paper, at least 60% of the references you put in your paper, 60% of them should be up to date, which means maybe the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But I can see from your list, most of them are up to date references, so it should be okay. And then when you present, you can go to the symbols and equations. You presented some equations, right? Some of them, they are not easily understood by the audience, so you have to define. When you present them for the first time, including in your paper also, when you present all these equations, symbols, and also abbreviations, when they appear for the first time, you need to define them. Then for the second time, it's okay, because already defined, so people can easily understand. The last one is suggestion again. When you present, make it better in graph or table form. For example, the last one, the table form is okay. When you make it in graph form, it will be easy to compare for the readers and the audience as well. So in your paper also, focus more on tables and graphs. You can summarize different 5 or 6 paper results in one graph, 5 or 6 papers in table, and so on. So that is my suggestion. Thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you. Okay, our last